Stand by for Titanfall.
Hey there, Titanfall legends, my name is Geardude, here today with quite a lot of news to cover. There was recently an early capture event at Respawn Studio where they invited various YouTubers and community members, however, neither Jax nor I were invited this time. We assumed it was a mistake, but upon asking why, we were told it was on purpose, but the explanation that was also given still doesn't make any sense. Regardless, we're going to still of course cover the news. First up, let's talk about game modes that have now been confirmed to see a return in Titanfall 2. First up, we have Attrition, the mode that many would say is the staple of Titanfall, where the first team to hit the score limit wins. This is done by killing minions, titans, and enemy pilots. Secondly, Capture the Flag, fairly straightforward. And finally, Last Titan Standing, a round-based mode that has every player spawn with titans at the beginning of a round. First team to doom all the enemy titans is the victor. Also, something to mention is that there are neutral batteries placed throughout the map in Last Titan Standing. From the gameplay I've watched of the game modes, it seems that they will all play out essentially the same way they did in the original Titanfall. There has also been a 1v1 game mode announced titled Coliseum. There is a catch, however, to this. In order to play, you must earn tickets for entry by playing the other game modes. Also, for the next while, ticket codes will come with Mountain Dew products. If you would like to watch some of the new gameplay of these modes, check the links I've left for you in the description. Two new maps have been shown. Blackwater Canal, described by website GameCrate as along a relatively narrow space that has three major pathways, not unlike an arena in a MOBA game. At the center is a large bridge, one that became a killing zone when we played, along with deep canals along the side and even a passage that runs underneath the bridge. And the other map, named Eden, described once again by GameCrate as a seemingly abandoned and rundown city relative to other multiplayer maps we've seen for Titanfall 2, is smaller and less vertical. The final two pilot tacticals have been revealed, Phase Shift, which makes you both invisible and invincible for a brief moment, and while activated you leave a trail that tells everyone where you're headed, and also your vision becomes impaired by everything being in black and white, as well as not being able to see map details nor other players. The other is Amped Wall, which is a throwable protective shield that deploys in front of you, and by shooting through the wall it amps your shots. And if you're wondering if it's possible to combine the amped weapons boost and this, the answer has been confirmed to be a no. And just to remind you, with these two it officially means there will be a total of 7 tactical pilot abilities. Now I'm going to read off all the new additions to pilot weapons, pilot ordnance, pilot kits, pilot executions, Titan kits, and Titan specific kits. Let's start with the new additions to the assault rifles. The V47 Flatline is an auto assault rifle that has high damage and a slow fire rate. And then returning from Titanfall 1, the Hemlock, a burst assault rifle, and the G2A5, slightly upgraded, it is still a semi-automatic as well. This means there will be a total of 4 assault rifles in Titanfall 2. For SMG, it was confirmed earlier, but there's now gameplay of the R97, which is a high fire rate automatic SMG. In case you forgot, it is returning from Titanfall, the original. And then secondly, we have Volt, an energy SMG that has been said to have high accuracy. This makes for a total of 4 SMGs in Titanfall 2. For light machine guns, one more is added, the X55. A unique characteristic to this weapon is that the fire rate increases while shooting. With this addition, it makes for a total of 3 light machine guns. For sniper rifles, the Longbow DMR, a single-shot semi-automatic rifle, is returning, making for a total of 3 sniper rifles. For shotguns, the EVA 8 Auto has now officially been shown, meaning there will be 2 shotguns in the final game. And then finally, we have the Grenadier class, with the R6P Softball, which is a sticky grenade launcher. Then the EM4 Cold War, that is a charged 4-round burst grenade weapon. And then lastly, returning from Titanfall 1, however a bit different as it's more effective against pilots and not so much titans nowadays, as it's no longer an anti-titan weapon, the Sidewinder, making for a total of 4 in this weapon class. For pilot secondaries, under pistols, we have the Hammond P2016 semi-auto, an evolved version of the Hammond P2011 seen in the original game. The Wingman, a revolver, once again returning from Titanfall 1, is also going to be a pistol. Then finally, the SA-3 Mozambique, which of course we've known about for a while, but there is gameplay of it now, is a controlled spread, triple-barrel shotgun pistol, meaning there will be a total of 4 pistols in Titanfall 2. Finally, for anti-Titan weapons, the Archer has now been shown as well, making for a total of 4. For ordnance, we have Fire Star, which is similar to the Gravity Star in that it's a shuriken, but it causes incendiary damage. Then also the satchels returning, where we will have 2 of them. For the kits, under Kit 1, we have the addition of Ordnance Expert, which gives you a faster cooldown on ordnance, and it enables you to see the projected trajectory. While for Kit 2, we have another addition, Low Profile. Your jump jet will be invisible, and it also enables Silent Titan rodeo climbing. And then finally here for pilot customizations, executions will in fact be selectable. There are 4 of them. We have Neck Breaker, where you snap the enemy's neck, the 2-3-2 combo, 2 punches ending in a right cross, the Knee Plus, flying knee to the face, and then finally the Grand Theft Semi-Auto, where you execute your foe with their own pistol. I'm also going to mention that there will be 10 loadout slots to customize. Now let's move on to the Titan kits. Stealth Auto Eject automatically ejects and cloaks you when your Titan is doomed, preventing pilot death. And then we have Nuclear Ejection seeing a return. Ejecting while doomed causes your Titan to detonate its core, causing nearby enemies massive damage. And then Counter Ready, 1 extra electric smoke countermeasure. Now let's get to the Titan specific kits, starting with Ion. There's 2 new additions, 0-point Tripwire, where your Tripwire deployment uses 0 energy, and then Grand Canyon enables the laser core to last longer. For Scorch, we have 2 additions as well, Tempered Plating, decrease self-damage by your own thermite, and Fuel for the Fire, Firewall lasts longer. And then we have the 4 new Titans, where we're learning about their kits for the first time. Starting with North Star, we have Piercing Shot, Plasma Railgun rounds fire through targets. Enhanced Payload, cluster missiles, secondary explosions hit a larger range and last longer. Viper thrusters move faster during flight core, and Twin Traps, tether traps fires 2 traps. Then for Ronin, there's Ricochet rounds. The lead walls rounds bounce off surfaces. There's also Temporal Anomaly, Phase Dash is available more often, Thunderstorm, Arcwave has 2 charges, Highlander, Titan kills extend the duration of the sword core. For Tone, he has Enhanced Tracker rounds. Critical hits apply 2 tracker marks on targets. There's also Pulse Echo. After a short delay, Sonar Pulse echoes a second pulse. There's also Reinforced Particle Wall. Particle Wall lasts longer and blocks more damage. Then finally, for Tone, Rocket Barrage. Tracker rockets fire 2 additional missiles. And wrapping up with the Titans entirely, we have Legion's kits. Enhanced Ammo Supply, which increases the ammo capacity of the Predator Cannon. Bulwark, Gun Shield blocks twice as much damage. Sensor Array, Smart Core lasts longer, and Lightweight Alloys move faster while the Predator Cannon is spun up. Now let's talk about the boosts. There will be a total of 12, meaning we have 10 new ones to cover. Starting with Map Hack, which reveals enemies to your entire team via a red outline that is visible through walls. Following that, Pilot Sentry, an anti-personnel automated turret that has a 1-minute lifetime. Up next, Battery Backup. You give yourself a free battery. There's Radar Jammer that scrambles the enemy's radar. There's the Titan Sentry, an anti-Titan auto turret that also has a 1-minute lifetime like the Pilot Sentry. Of course, the Smart Pistol, as we know, is back. This locks onto enemy nearby targets for guaranteed hits. It has 2 12-round magazines. And a drawback to using this, however, is that it replaces your secondary weapon. Then the final 4 is Phase Rewind, phase shift to a location visited shortly before activation, Hard Cover, reinforced pilot-sized particle shield, Hollow Pilot Nova, create multiple decoys of yourself, and Dice Roll, a randomly chosen boost is activated on use. For factions, 4 more have been added, the Mordor Corps, Vincent Dynamics, Angel City Elite, and ARES Division, making for a total of 6. Let's wrap up by talking about the PC spec requirements. Starting with the minimum requirements, OS is Windows 7, 8, 8.1, or 10, 64-bit. For CPU, an Intel Core i3-3600T or equivalent, the RAM is at least 8GB, hard drive free space 45GB, for GPU at least the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660 2GB or the AMD Radeon HD 7850 2GB DirectX 11. Now let's talk about what is recommended. OS is the exact same, CPU asks for the Intel Core i5-6600 or equivalent, RAM 16GB, hard drive 45GB once again, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 6GB, or the AMD Radeon RX 480 8GB DirectX 11 once again. Then finally, for those of you who want to get that ultra 4K 60 FPS experience and have a big budget, the CPU demands an Intel Core i7 6700K or equivalent, at least 16GB of RAM, and then for the GPU, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 8GB. That, everyone, is Titanfall 2's PC spec requirements. Just a final miscellaneous thing to add, the spectator mode has been confirmed. There are a few other small additions that I didn't cover, but for the most part we got all of the important information. My apologies for being a little late on delivering this news. As I said, we did not get invited to the latest early recording event, and I also want to add that from my understanding they played the full retail version of the game, and they also played the PC version, to mention that as well. Today's question of the day: what piece of news stood out to you the most? Feel free to answer in the comments below, or silently in your head. My name is Geardude, and until next time, stand by for Titanfall.